Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jadesola and today I am going to be sharing some tips that can help you navigate your first 30 days on a new job. So first of all, I'd like to say congratulations on your new job, and you've worked very hard and you deserve this win. The first 30 days on a new job is actually very crucial. It's very crucial, more importantly because of expectations. Now your hiring manager, or the company, they've hired you because they have certain expectations of you. And you also have certain expectations of what the job entails, and both of them need to balance. So I would say the first thing that you need to do when you're on a new job is to understand what the expectation is. So you can either understand this by speaking to your manager, or by speaking to your team, or by just going through your job description if there's one. Now, the reason why this expectation is actually very important is there's so many circumstances that actually surround why a company is hiring. Now, if you are replacing someone that has left a big shoe to fill, like this person was like extremely good, and then they have brought you in, like low-key, even though everybody knows that you're new, they're going to be expecting you to deliver something magical to fill in this person's shoes. They're going to be comparing you with the last person on the job. And that in itself, starts to make you feel like you need to like make very good first impression when you're on this job. Sometimes it might be the opposite. It might be that the last person that was there was like complete shit, and you have now come and everyone is like watching, like, what's this person going to do differently on this role? Like, there's so many factors that can just be in between, and it might just be like, it might be a new role that they have just carved out, and there might not be sort of like those, like, personnel comparisons going on, but there will still be expectations of what they expect that you'll be able to deliver on this job. So I would always say, like, understand your expectation first off when you're on a new job. That's one of the main things that you have to really do in your first 30 days. Speak to your manager, speak to your team, try to understand some of the things that they are doing within the company. How important is this role or this project that you've been placed on? And these are some of the things that can help you to better understand the expectation that your company have of you on this new role. The next thing that I would say is get to know your team, get to know the people that you're going to be working with directly and indirectly. For me, for example, on my job, as a product manager, you have to get to know your fellow product team, as well as your developers. Like, those are like really key people that you're going to be working with. So whatever your role is, the people that you're going to be working with, across, different departments, try to get to know them in your first 30 days. And a lot of the conversations that you want to be having is, you want to understand their roles, you want to understand their job titles, you want to understand how your own role fits into their day-to-day, right? Because it's important. The other thing you want to also try to do is, you want to make sure that you're likable, and it is not like you're trying to suck up to people. Do you understand? But first impression, when you're in a new place, everyone is looking at you, everyone is forming an opinion of you, and it's important that you also try to put your best foot forward. So in as much as you're getting to know them, you're also maybe sharing your own background and what makes you like a star, and just to make sure that they also give you your own kind of respect in your own right. So once you're done knowing your team, the next set of people you want to know are your stakeholders. Now, these are they could fall into different categories, but some of the stakeholders that I think that it's important that you get to know them, especially in the beginning, are those very influential stakeholders. Now, there's certain people in the organization that they might not necessarily be managers, but they're very influential people. They have access to top management, people listen to them, and you want to make sure that you know them, you understand them. How do they like to work? What's that thing that even makes them very influential, right? And you're spending this first 30 days trying to understand your new environment. Like when people talk about office politics and all whatnot, a lot of us, we don't like to participate, but some of these things are quite important. And you see those very influential stakeholders, they're the ones that are usually in the heart of all forms of politics in the workspace. So you want to make sure that you understand them, and when you have met them, right, and you've tried to understand them, you can even also ask from other people on the team, just to try and better understand some of these key stakeholders and very influential stakeholders as well. So once you're done understanding your team and your stakeholders, the next thing that I would advise that you try to learn is the tools that you're going to be working with. Familiarize yourself with these tools. Some of these tools, you might have used them before, maybe in your previous organization. Some you might be completely new to them. So get familiar with those tools, play around with them, and try to ask questions about how to use them. Make sure that you're properly set up on some of these tools, so that you can actually get started on something. The next thing I'm going to advise you to do is about learning what the job entails, what you're meant to be doing. And the truth is, I would say, like, we learn in different ways, and understanding how you learn would also help you, because I'm not gonna lie, like when you're in a new job, it's like a lot of information is just being thrown at you, and you need to find a way to learn what you need to learn about your new role, your new job, and the things that are important, in the way that it can stick. Spend some time during working hours to learn some of these things, but also take some time even after working hours, especially in your first 30 to 60 days, to spend some more time in learning this thing. I know that a lot of people are going to go like, oh, why should I be working after closing hours? I think that, and this might not be popular opinion, I think work-life balance when you just start a new job, it's probably not what you should be trying to sell, because I think you should be trying to make a good first impression. And besides that, right, things are moving along, whether or not you stop to learn or not. And I think that you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you continue to attend meetings and you are not putting in the extra effort to make sure that you are trying your best to learn as much as you can, so that you can start to contribute smartly in the meetings that you're having. Because you're going to be there, and at a point in time you might start to feel like you're a prop in the meeting because you don't know what they're talking about, which is fair, right? You may not know what they're talking about, but what I'm trying to say is start to spend some extra time after work, if you can, to bring yourself up to speed on the things that you don't know. A lot of organizations understand that maybe it's going to take like a new employee, maybe at least 6 months, for them to start to really contribute on the team. But you don't want to wait till it's almost too late. And then again, there's certain questions that your first 30 days, people can understand why you're asking some of these questions. So, the more you learn, right, the more questions you're likely going to have. Asking some of these questions will start to make you look like you're engaged at work, and people feel like you're curious and you want to learn, and you're very interested in the things that you're about to do. So it's very important that you spend some extra time in trying to build up the knowledge that you need on the job, if you have to. So basically what you're trying to do in your first 30 days is to just be a sponge and soak in as much information as you can about your new role, about this new industry that you're in, about the new project that you're on. It's very important that you spend so much time in the first 30 days just soaking in things. Last thing I'm going to say is, if you're on a new job, is you want to observe a lot. Now, sometimes some people feel the pressure to want to start to contribute. Some people, when they come in at a managerial level, like from their first day, they want to start to boss everybody around. They want to start to, dictate things. And, while, in exceptional cases, you may be put in positions where you might have to just hit the ground running. But a lot of the times, wisdom directs that you actually observe. Stop forming ITK when you're on a new job. Like, you want to spend your first 30 days like really just observing, really just learning, really just being a sponge and soaking up information. You don't want to be that bossy person or that dictator, so to speak, in your first 30 days. Even if you're coming at a very high level, you want to spend your time making sure that the people around you are comfortable, that they like you, that they have a very good impression of you. Because I can tell you, like, if you meet 100 people, right, 100 people are going to say different things about you. But what you want to do, especially on a new job, is to make sure that a lot of people are saying good things about you. They're talking about, oh, this person is very curious. They're asking very intelligent questions. They seem to be very collaborative. Those are the kind of things that you want to hear about yourself in the beginning, right? And you don't want to be hearing things like, oh, this person just came, I was just like trying to change all the processes and everything. You need to spend enough time in the organization before you start to make some of these changes, because you need to understand the why before you start to dive, head into the job. So these are some of the things that I think can help you when you're starting a new job. If there are other things that you think I have skipped in this video, please feel free to share them in the comment section. And if you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next time. Bye.